I see this question get asked quite a lot about why did Eraqus and the Birth by Sleep trio trust Xehanort? He's so obviously evil, and so why? Why would they even trust him for even a second? Well, the first thing you have to do is take your mind out of the perspective of the audience and the viewer and put it into the perspective of the characters in the series, in the story. Because to the viewer, it's very clear and it's very obvious that Xehanort is a villain. Even if you've only played Birth by Sleep, when you first see Xehanort, he's very clearly the bad guy. He is designed evilly. He is the villain. And that is very clear to the viewer. However, it's not the same case when we speak about the characters. And this doesn't just go with Kingdom Hearts, but this goes with any of the series that follows this type of trope. First of all, why did the Birth by Sleep trio trust Xehanort? Terra, Aqua, and Ventus. Why would they trust him? It's a very simple answer, and that is because Eraqus trusted Xehanort. Eraqus, being their master, they had no reason to distrust his best friend. Why would they distrust the best friend of the person that they looked up to, their master, Eraqus? Why? However, the real question here is why did Eraqus trust Xehanort? And this is actually something that I struggled with understanding for quite a while. We even see that Xehanort practically shot Eraqus in the face and scarred his face up, yet Eraqus still trusted him afterwards. And why would he do that? Well, for me to explain why Eraqus trusted Xehanort, I'm actually going to use Sora and Riku as an example instead, because I feel like that's a lot easier for people to understand. So, we know that Riku succumbed to the darkness, and then Sora went out on this journey to save his friend and to figure out where he was. Throughout that entire journey, Sora never gave up hope. And even when he had seen the things that Riku had done, and seen the things that he had said, all these things, Sora never gave up. And he went so far as to even fight his best friend, if that's what it meant, in order to bring him back. That ended up saving Riku from becoming the next Xehanort, because he would have ended up just like Xehanort if Sora hadn't have been successful in reaching out to him like he was. We have to remember that Eraqus and Xehanort were childhood friends. They grew up together the same way that Sora and Riku had. They trained under the same master, and they became Keyblade Masters together. Eraqus inherited the Land of Departure in order to create more Keyblade wielders to replace the old ones, while Xehanort ended up traveling the world and ended up being corrupted by the darkness within the lanes between. Growing up with somebody for so long, the way that Eraqus and Xehanort, or Sora and Riku did, when they saw their best friends being corrupted by the darkness and transforming into these evil people, they didn't just abandon them, throw them aside and act like they didn't even know them. They didn't give up hope, and they tried to reach out to their friends. And Sora was successful in that. He did manage to save Riku. However, Eraqus was not successful, and that's what makes it so much worse, because he had to sit back and watch his best friend over all of these decades slowly but surely end up being corrupted even more and more. He had to watch as this darkness took hold of his best friend for so long. And this is really why he's so strict with the darkness, especially towards Terra. Because he's already seen what it does to somebody, and he's already tried to save one person, and he knows that if somebody else were to fall to the darkness, especially Terra, the one that he considers to be his own son, he knows that if he falls to that darkness, that he won't be there and he won't be strong enough to be able to save him. And that's why he's so strict with the darkness. He knows that he physically cannot overcome it. He's just not strong enough. So the reason that Eraqus trusts Xehanort is the same reason that Sora still trusts Riku even after Kingdom Hearts 1 and all the things that Riku had done. Sora still trusts him because that's his friend, and he doesn't want to abandon him because when these characters are in these types of mindsets like this, where they're being corrupted by the darkness, all they think is that these people aren't really their friends and that they're just using them. So if you abandon them, you lose hope and you stop trying to help them, it just makes the situation even worse, because you're proving that you're not really their friend, just like they believe. So it makes the situation much worse, which is why Sora was so successful in it, because no matter what Riku did or said, Sora never stopped believing. However, Eraqus constantly failed. For some reason, Eraqus just could not reach out to his friend the same way that Sora reached out to Riku. He tried and tried, and he just never was able to. But he never wanted to give up hope. Even though he constantly failed at it, he never gave up hope. He knew that the day that he abandoned Xehanort was the day that Xehanort was no longer reachable and redeemable anymore. Even though he failed, he never gave up that hope, because he did still want to save his friend. And that's why he still trusted him and still allowed him to be in his life, because this entire time, he was trying to save his best friend, but he never could. And that's why he still trusted him, because in Eraqus' mind, as long as Xehanort was still in his life, Eraqus could still try his best to bring him back. However, all the way up to the end of Birth by Sleep, Eraqus never was able to save his best friend. And that's actually one of the main reasons why Xehanort was so successful in the situation of Birth by Sleep. He was able to string everybody along because Eraqus was so blinded, because he was trying to save his best friend and ignoring these little things that he was doing. And that ended up costing everybody their entire lives. All of their lives were ruined because Eraqus was blind, trying to save his best friend. But that is the answer as to why Eraqus and the Birth by Sleep trio continued to trust Xehanort. But with that being said, I do hope that you enjoyed the video. Consider sticking around for more videos similar to this one. And with that, I'll see you next time.